Hello and welcome to today's Q&A with me, Chloe. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're talking about how you get over the fear of video. Now, a lot of people have asked me about this and how I got confident with video and how I can help them get better at it. And every single time I've kind of laughed and thought, why are you asking me? I'm terrified of video. Because I really was. And, this whole YouTube channel and the number of videos that have been published over the last couple of months, that has all come from my fear of video, because for 2 years I just took clip after clip after clip after clip and I never published a thing. Believe me when I say I was terrified to my core of putting myself out there, of putting myself in front of a camera. I know what it feels like to look at that lens, to look at that red record button and be thinking all those different thoughts that pop in your head, like, what am I going to talk about? What if I sound stupid? I don't like the way I look. What if somebody doesn't like what I have to say? What if I get negative feedback? What if I get trolls? What if I damage my reputation? Right? All of these different things. We all have all these different fears popping up in our head, and all the while you're just staring at that red record button. And you want to speak, you want to do video, and you can rationalize it, right? You can talk to yourself and be like, no, it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine. But then all those fears just pop up again when you actually hit record. I know, I've been there. Believe me when I say I truly do understand. The truth is though, up until the last few weeks even, that was still the story I was telling myself, that I was scared of video. And the truth is, I'm not really so much anymore. I come on and I record and I don't really think about it, and all those fears that I did have, they're not really there anymore. And that's a wonderful place to be. That the reason that I share this with you is that if me of all people, and believe me, I have like boxes of worrying and overthinking within boxes in more boxes. Like, I worry about everything and I'm always freaking out about stuff. So if I can get to that place, then I know 100% you can do it too. I'm going to share with you how I got over my fear of video, and I truly hope that it helps you too. But if not, if you're still scared, what I want you to do is I want you to reach out directly to me and we will have a conversation. I will make it happen. If I can, I want to talk with you and I want to help you, because ultimately you have a unique message to share with the world, and it would be such a shame if the people waiting to hear it weren't able to because you were scared of the video camera. There's nothing to be scared of, I promise you that. So I got over my fear of video, or I started to, last year when Periscope came out. And like every single time I thought about video, I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. Then one Friday night, I don't know where I gained the courage, I was talking to a friend on Facebook and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just hit record and do it. And that's exactly what I did. And those first few seconds, because there's always a delay, right? With the live streaming apps, there's a delay as people are coming in. I was terrified, so scared, and my face was doing that thing where all the blood rushes to it and you're like, what am I doing? I don't know what to say, I don't know what to talk about. I had nothing to talk about, and I did that embarrassing thing where I was like, hey, I just came on to check out this app and I'm just testing it, how are you? And it was so scary. But after that initial fear thing, people started coming in, and it was people that I knew, right? It was people that I knew and some people I didn't know. And suddenly they were having a conversation with me, and I was no longer focused on myself, the fact I was staring at myself into my camera, and I was able to have a conversation. And it went on, I was planning on being 5 minutes, it went on for a whole hour, and afterwards I had the biggest buzz ever. It was such a good feeling, because it was like, one, I did that, I got over my fear, and two, it wasn't so bad after all. And the reason I tell you that story is because often we fear live streaming more than, say, doing a YouTube video. But the thing about live streaming is it's real time, it's in the moment, and once you press record, you're out there. There's no turning back, unlike with YouTube or any sort of edited video where you really can take after take after take after take, and that's exactly what will happen because you're scared and it will never be good enough. So live streaming is actually a really wonderful way to start getting over that fear and to do it in a comfortable setting. If you have a Facebook group, or you can set up a Facebook group with a close-knit group of people that you trust, just to get yourself out there, get yourself familiar with it. And on your personal page as well is a great way to do that. A lot of people went on Periscope and maybe experienced trolls or sort of negativity. That's just the platform. That's nothing to do with you. You're going to get them everywhere. But if you start on something like Facebook Live with a close-knit group of people, you know, your friends, you trust them, then that is a wonderful way to get started and get over that initial fear of putting yourself out there. It is scarier because you're live, but that's the beauty of it, because once you hit record, you've done it. That's all you have to do. That's the hardest part. And I promise you it won't be as bad as you think it is. The second thing is just practice, practice, practice. Do it as often as you can, because what will happen is you'll do it a few times and you'll build momentum. But if you stop for a week or 2 weeks, it is amazing how that turns into procrastination, prevents your progression, and suddenly video is almost even scarier than it was before, because you're like, oh wait, I did it then, I can't do it now, and even more doubts come up. And so you don't want to give yourself that opportunity. You don't want to give yourself the excuse. There is a reason that I put out a video every single day, and there's a reason that when I slip, I don't just slip for one day, I slip for a few, right? It's that exact same process that's going on. And I'm telling you this because I'm trying to be honest and show you that the people that do come on this channel right now at this moment in time and think that I'm super confident with video, it's just not true. Like, I'm just as scared as you are. I have all those thoughts in my head. And but the thing is, I just have to show up and do it and keep doing it. And what I have to remember is that this isn't about me, right? It's not about me and my fear. What it's about is serving my audience. And I owe it to you, the people that are watching this video, I owe it to you to give you a video and to answer your questions and to help you. I am here to serve you. So if you can switch your thinking and think about it that way, like there's people waiting to hear your message, and you can say you're scared of all these things, but the truth is, like, you're doing a disservice to them by thinking, oh, what if I'm not good enough? What if my hair doesn't look nice? What if I don't have makeup on? What if people judge me for this like weird quirk thing that I've got going on, or if I say something wrong? You know, like, it's not about you, it's about them. And think of it that way, like, switch your thinking so that you're thinking about your audience, and it takes the fear off of you. Now so practice, practice, practice. Do a challenge. A challenge is a great way to do this. I started with that 30-day Veda challenge. There's nothing to stop you doing the same. The next thing you want to do is really think about your mindset, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. All those things that you're fearing other people judging you for, really, when you get to the core of it, that's you judging yourself, and that's you not thinking you're good enough. So you have to remember that you are good enough and you can do this. It just takes time. It just takes practice. And it's also not about removing the fear. A lot of the time when it comes to fear, we think that our job is to eliminate it or not be scared as human beings in general, when the truth is, fear keeps us alive. Right? We need it. And it's not a case of eliminating it. It's a case of acknowledging, yes, this fear exists, it is here, but now I get to choose how I react, adapt, breathe, and take action. And I am choosing not to let this fear get the best of me, right? Fear versus courage. I am going to choose courage, and even though I am scared, I am going to do it. Now, the tie-in to that and how I helped myself with this is when I got on a live stream or when I got on a video, and I still do it sometimes, I will say, I'm really scared to do this. And not just with video, if I am speaking to a crowd and I'm really scared to do it, I'll be like, you know what, I'm really scared to do this right now. So if I fall off the stage, you know, please don't laugh at me too hard. And it's, you know what, it's an icebreaker, because if they can feel that you're not confident, as soon as you address it out loud, acknowledge its existence. My bad, my memory cut out on my phone, so I had to do a second take. Like I was saying, if you can acknowledge its existence, fear's existence, and you can put it out there, it no longer has power over you. Now, what's really cool is I wasn't going to include this point, but there is a good reason. I believe the universe had my back on this one. Sometimes things go wrong. Like right now, I was in the middle of talking and my camera ran out of memory. So I could have done another take on this. I chose not to. One, because I try to limit the editing on this, but two, to show you something. It's okay for it not to be perfect. It's okay for you to mess up sometimes, because guess what? You're human, and we're all human, and we all make mistakes. And do you know what? I love it when things aren't perfect. I love it when it's real and it's raw, because that is when you get to know a person, and that is how you build a relationship. It's very difficult to build a relationship with a really polished, finished article that is very professional and stand up, and that's not to discredit those videos because they serve a really good purpose, but as a small business owner who is trying to build relationships with your audience, they love that it's real and it's raw, because then it's relatable and then they really feel like they're getting to know you. They do not feel like you're staging a performance for them. And that is huge. That is what, those little things that go wrong, like the one time I did a video and there was like a daddy long leg in the corner and I was freaking out and I couldn't get through my video. People loved it. I don't know why. I was terrified, but they loved it because it was real and it was honest and it was, you know, unedited and fun. And so, you know, I'm kind of glad it cut out, because that's another point. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You've got this, right? You've got this. I 100% believe in you. There is nothing to be scared of when it comes to video. And it's very easy for me to say this, I know, because if you look at my channel, I've done a ton of video. But the reason that I've done all these videos is because of all of these points that I've spoken about. Like, I just did it and I was scared. And sometimes, let me tell you, sometimes before I've done an interview this year, you know, many of you know that I suffer from PTSD, which is scary to talk about in itself, right? I'm putting it out there. But sometimes before I do a video interview, I have been in tears, I have been anxious. Oh, look, I cut off again. Very professional videographer, as you can see, or vlogger, or whatever you call people that make those YouTube videos, YouTubers. Point being, what I was saying is, yeah, I've been anxious, I've been scared, I've been in tears, I've not wanted to do it, but ultimately I've got up and I've showed up, because consistency is key. Like anything, reps build muscle, and that's the hardest part, right? The hardest part is showing up, being consistent, doing it on a regular basis. I'm a little extreme. I've got an all-in personality, so of course I decided to do it every single day for consistency, but it doesn't have to be. Just try and be consistent and give it a go. There is nothing to lose, and I promise you there's everything to be gained. So I truly hope that you have found that valuable, and again, I try to be as honest as I can and let you know my fears, because I want you to know that you're not alone, and I've been exactly where you are. And like I said right at the beginning of this video, please, if this video hasn't helped you or you still need some help with this, reach out to me, because I will do everything in my power to help you. I feel like you have a unique message to share with the world, and I don't want people not to hear it because you're scared of video, right? It's like what I was saying. And so yeah, you're not alone. Let's do it together. Reach out to me and we'll make it happen. Never forget that you have the power to change the world, one connection and one conversation at a time. Much love from my heart to yours. If you found this valuable, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. If not, I still wish you a beautiful day. wherever you are in the world, start creating videos. I really want to see yours. Link me if you make one. Link me below and I'll check it out if I can, when I can. I'm terrified there's going to be like tons of links and I don't get to them all instantly, but I promise I'll check it out. Again, much love from my heart to yours. I hope we speak soon.